Um, you'll notice I have a band with me. It's like a hip circle band. So totally optional. You can do the moves exactly the same with or without one. But if you have something like any kind of stretchy band and you want to try it out and use it, it just helps it engage through the glutes a bit more. So if you have one, you can grab it. If you don't worry about it. Moves are exactly the same. Okay? So we're going to get started in our seated position. We got a good class today. And yeah, we're going to start with some shoulder rotations. So just coming up and back. Yeah, good. Nice slow shoulder rotations. Okay, now we're going to transition and start doing one at a time. Side to side. Yeah, there we go. And switch rotation. Good. Let those go. We're going to just do some neck stretches. So just go off to one side. Yeah. And let your head drop heavy into the middle and roll up to the other side. Nice and slow. You can just do these at your own pace. Just trying to look at how tight our necks got today. Go back and forth one more time. Good. All right. So we're going to go into a tabletop position. So on all fours, and we're just going to start articulating our back with some cat-cows. So stretching one way and then rounding all the way up. Let's take these nice and slow. Really try to push your chest down through, making sure your arms are straight the entire time. Those elbows don't have a bend in them. Sticking that tailbone up, dropping the belly. And then tucking the hips all the way under and looking at your belly button. Good. One more nice and slow. Okay, in our tabletop position now, we're going to do shoulder rotations. So with straight arms, I'm going to rotate my shoulders. So if you can see what I'm doing here, yeah. Arms stay locked out straight, and I'm moving that shoulder all the way around. Feels weird. Good. Okay. From here, we're just going to start rotating around our wrists, get these guys warmed up a little bit. Yep, nice straight arms. Just start putting a bit of pressure as we go out over top of our wrists and see how they're feeling today. And then we're going to switch directions and go the other way. Good. Okay, now from here, we're going to do, I call a C stretch. So we're going to put one arm reach it across and in front. And we're going to push that shoulder out to the opposite side and round down, keeping the arm straight until kind of like our chest and armpit's going to hit the ground, and then rounding back up and tucking. Yeah. Taking these nice and slow. Make sure you push to the side as you go around the middle part of that C. Good. Finish up your last one, and we're going to go on the other side. Yep, nice straight arm. Good. All right. And when you're done that one, we're going to take our hands out kind of further in front of us. We're going to do a puppy stretch. So arms are straight. I'm really extending through my shoulders, and I'm going to drop my chest down. So I'm arching in my back. Yep. And for me, my like lats are really tight. So I like to put my thumbs facing the ceiling to kind of get into my lats a little bit more. And with straight arms, we're going to just try and breathe here for a second. And then taking a deep breath, we're going to round all the way up. Holding that deep breath, trying to make space between our shoulder blades. And coming down and exhaling. And do that one more time. So deep breath, hold it. Lots of space between the shoulder blades as you round your back. And exhale. And chest down to the ground again. Good. Release that one. We're going to come down to our stomachs and prop ourselves up on our elbows for a nice, easy little baby cobra. So this can be a pretty good like resting position. But what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to push my hands into the ground. I'm trying to bring my shoulders back and my chest forward. So I'm gripping the ground. Yeah. Shoulders back and then pull your chest forward. Relax. Do one more activation here. So gripping the ground, chest forward and shoulders back. Just getting that mid back. Good, and release that one. Okay, grab a quick drink. And we're lying down on our backs. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna lie down on our backs. I'm gonna keep my legs bent. They don't have to be, but it's a bit more comfortable because I wanna make sure that my lower back is gonna be on the ground. Yeah, so I'm gonna tuck my hips so my lower back isn't popped up, it's on the ground. So I can get my whole spine on the ground. And then at my neck, I'm gonna tuck my chin kind of to my chest so that I'm even trying to straighten out that part of my spine. So lower back's on the ground because my hips are tucked, spine's on the ground. And then here, what we're gonna do is putting my hands together. And from here, I'm going to keep them pushing into each other. And I'm going to bring my arms up slowly, keeping them straight and trying to engage them, keeping that push together while my arms are straight over my head as high as I can go. If this is like super, super hard, impossible, tenting your fingers to give you a bit more space or even putting like a block or something in between your hands does help because ideally we want to get that entire back chain from my hands, elbows, shoulders, lower back, hips, everything on the ground. So we're gonna go and do that, and we're gonna hold it for like 20 seconds, and we're gonna do it twice, okay? So everything is on the ground, my neck is tucked down, hands are together, I'm pushing my hands together, I'm reaching overhead until my arms are all the way extended. I'm trying to think about getting everything, the shoulders and the hands all the way to the ground. Keep pushing the hands together. You can make a little bit more space if you need to by tenting your fingers. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that go. Relax, relax. This is an Eldoa move. We have done this in some previous classes in a seated position. However, it's super hard when you don't have someone physically there to correct your posture to get your whole back chain really, really straight. So by doing it on the ground, we're able to police ourselves. You can also do it seated up against a wall as well. But I like laying down, so. Okay, we're gonna go in for one more, setting that back up. Our back, everything is aligned, neck is tucked, hands are together. We're pressing them together and we're reaching overhead. We're gonna hold for 20 seconds. And letting that go. Relaxing those arms all the way down. All right. And since we're laying here and we do need to stretch through our abs today, we're going to do a little ab warm up just so that they stretch nice and nice for us. So there's 2 versions of this exercise. Version 1 is here. And I'm going to come up. I'm going to touch hand to foot. And we're alternating. We're going to do 8 of these. Version 2, a little bit easier, is I'm going to keep my opposite arm on the ground and I'm just going to reach for it. So this is actually helping me, but I'm still getting that ab crunch. So you can do either of those 2. So there's going to be 4 on each side for a total of 8. Okay? Whenever you're ready, we're going. Up for 1 and down. 2, 3, 4, halfway there. 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo, good. Slight ab warm up. Grab another drink if you need it. All right, we're gonna come up to a lunge, well, standing position. Okay, so in our standing position, hey, there I am. In our standing position, we're gonna stand here and just kind of like in a straight line, you're gonna come up, grab your knee, and then we're gonna lunge backwards. Okay, and we're gonna do like 6 of those on each side. So it'd be like pull the knee in, lunge backwards, pull the knee in, lunge backwards. If you have a squishy ground like me, it may be a little bit more challenging to balance, but we'll make do. Okay, so what do I say, 4 on each side? 8 on each side? See how they feel. We might end up with 6. Okay, so starting here, start on one side, yeah, and back, all the way back up. Yeah, there's 2. Up and down. Up and down. 4. Up, down, that's 5. Let's do one more. 6. Good. We're gonna switch, opposite leg, comes up, down for the lunge, and up, down for 2, down for 3, up, down for 4, up, down for 5, up, oh, down for 6. I'm losing my balance. Okay, so now we gotta, just gonna stand hip width apart. We're gonna go from a downward dog to an upward dog. So what that looks like is your downward dog here, and we're gonna transition that to an upward dog by bring our head forward, dropping our hips, and just keeping the arms straight. And then we're gonna tuck the toes. We're gonna push it back into our downward dog. We're just gonna flow back and forth from there a couple of times and just start getting that lower back incorporated. So if you wanna start, we're gonna put our hands about shoulder width apart, feet hip width apart, push into that downward dog. See if we can get our arms straight overhead, get our legs straight and our heels on the ground. If the heels are still popped, that's totally okay. That's just tight calves. We're gonna pull forward, passing right through plank, ignoring plank. Drop the hips down, keep the arms straight. Yeah. Hold this, you can kind of like wiggle around in it, see how it feels. And tuck the toes under, push back into that downward dog. Can walk back and forth, walking your dog, or just sway your hips back and forth. I'm going to pull forward, drop those hips down, and looking up at the sky. Oh, my heart's pumping. One more, back to downward dog. If your shoulders weren't warmed up already, they better be now. And pull forward for that up dog. Good, let that go. And come, bring your hips back and just go into a child's pose if you feel like you need it. Take a second, get a drink of water. Next up, I'm going to show you what my band is for because we got a couple squats to do. So in back bends especially, a lot of people have issues with doing squats or even back bends because you come into this bent knee position. A lot of people have issues with their knees either coming in or going out. So this helps me because it gives me some tension that I have to push against to keep my legs in that position. And it really makes me engage through my glutes. So as I do my squats, I'm gonna have this band on. You can also do your back bends with a band. Just gives you something to, a little bit of resistance. This one's actually like really strong. But yeah. So we're gonna do some squats. So standing with your feet about hip width apart, we're gonna make sure your knees don't go too far over your toes and that the knees do stay in line. They're not falling in, they're not falling out, okay? We're just doing 8 squats, nice and slow. So hips come back. Good, and up. Really engaging through the legs, through the glutes. Down for 2, and up. Yeah. Down for 3, up for 4, up, down for 5, up, down for 6, up, 7, Up. Last one. And 8. Yeah. Whew. All right. So, hear that for a minute. Gonna meet me in a low lunge. So just, yeah, your standard lunge position. You're gonna lean nice and forward. Start getting into that hip flexor. If you need to, you're gonna walk your foot up, yeah, forward so you're not going too far over it. We're gonna try and square those hips up so they're not open. They're both about at the same position. And just staying, yep, chest is up. You can balance on your knee, use the ground, blocks, whatever you got. Just trying to let that hip flexor know we're coming for it. Start regulating your breath in and out through your nose. I find in this position that my back leg pushing the top of my foot into the ground helps me engage and really get good grip on that. Just gives me more resistance, I guess, on my hip flexor. Yeah, and it helps with the balance. Good, okay, so we're gonna take one hand to the ground and I'm gonna open up into a twist. Just trying to stack those shoulders and look up at the sky. Holding it and breathing in and out through the nose. I'm going to take that hand that's in the sky and I'm going to bring it down to the ground and I'm going to switch and open in the opposite direction. Yeah, both ways. Good. Hold here and breathe. Good. Hand comes down. I'm going to switch legs. 2 sides. I'm going to even things out. So bring that other leg forward. Yep. Find my balance point. And again, I do push my back foot, the top of my foot into the ground, which assists in my stability. And we're just regulating our breath here, in and out through the nose. Good, coming forward and bring those hands to the ground. Pick one hand, twist, and open up to the sky. Hold and breathe. Good, I'm gonna transition, switching my hands, and bring my opposite hand up to the sky. Good, releasing that, bring both hands down. Okay, getting into some back bendy things. So we're gonna stay in this kneeling position. I need water. All the talking. Okay. So we're gonna stay in this kneeling position. We're gonna find our ankles to do our camel pose. Yep, so lean down on one side, find an ankle, find a heel, find something, yep. And then from there, keeping the arms straight, I'm gonna try and push my hips forward. Excellent. So hips are forward, my head can come back. And then if you think you're able, we're gonna take one hand off. I'm gonna sweep it in front of our body And then we're gonna bring it all the way overhead, like we're gonna do a back bend. We're gonna sweep it across in front of our body again and down. If this seems unstable, stay exactly where you are and just focus on breathing in and out through your nose and trying to get a nice opening through your chest. Five more seconds. Good. To come out, you're just going to drop your hips back down to the ground. Yeah, nice and easy. Not really, but easy to come out. Just dropping the hips to the ground. Okay. We're come back into our butts. We're going to finish up our little bit of lower body warming up before we're ready to go up into our bridge. So again, I've got my hip band. If you have one, strap that thing on. It's going to keep my hips nice and aligned. I start in my laying down position. We're just going to do hip raises here to finish our warm up. So the arms are not doing anything right now. Knees are in line with my feet. They're all about hip width apart. And from here, we're going to come up, pushing our hips up as high as you can, and down. And I'm going to move my feet in a little bit. Okay, and we're going to go for 8 here. And I'm going to try not to let my bum totally hit the ground in between. I'm going to keep it popped up a little bit. Okay. So starting here, we're going to go up, pushing up as high as you can for 1, and down. Up, 2, and down. Up for 3, down. Up, 4, down. Up, 5, down. Up for 6, down. 2 more. Up, 7. Last one, up, 8. Whew. All right, I'm gonna ditch my band because it really, really makes me engage here. And then so here, I'm gonna see if I can reach my ankles, if I can grab one and the other. We're gonna go for ankle holds, and we're gonna do like 4 hip raises, but while we're holding our ankles, or if you're not able to like reach the ankles, you can also intertwine your arms behind, but I prefer just going straight for the ankles. Okay, so if we're gonna go ahead and grab those, I know my arms are kind of long. So for here, we're gonna push up and down. Do 3 more of these. Up and down. Up, down. Last one, get those hips up as high as you can. And down. Good, good, good. Yeah. All right. Round yourself forward a little bit. Let that lower back go. Yeah, you can curl into a ball. You can cross-legged, however you feel is good. So I have one more workout before we go push up into our bridge, which is our crab pose. I'm kind of in it right now. And it's actually an alternate entry into your bridge or your wheel pose. So I'm going to demonstrate the full thing here, but when we go and do it, we're going to use it more as a stretch. So you are able to go from this seated position, pushing into that crab position, sweeping the arm in front, overhead, and that's your entry and exit. You saw my hand rotated underneath me, right? So during our practice right now, we're just using this as a stretch. So I'm gonna go in my hip position here, my little crab. I'm gonna bring my hand in front. I'm gonna push my hips up. I'm just gonna bring my hand to wherever like it feels comfortable. And a good test to know if you can get into your bridge from this position is if I can see the ground when I get into my full push, right? So if I'm here and I'm stretching, I'm looking, if I can see the ground, then it's just that hand turn. And I'm on a really grippy mat, so it's not easy to turn my hand. But again, like I said, we're gonna do this three times on each side. But we're not gonna go in touching the ground. We're just gonna stretch to where it feels good, come back, other side, come back, other side. All right, so hips up, sweep one hand in front of you, push the hips up and stretch, and come back the way you went in. Hand touches the ground, good. Other side, stretch, 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 and hand comes back, touch the ground. Good, we got 2 more rounds like that. So we're running across, and down. Opposite side, reach across overhead, and down. One more set, one more set. Let's go. Up and down. Last one, up and down. Drop your butt. Relax. That was it. We're ready for bridges. Lose my ponies. All right. Coming down. We're going to get our set up here. So the feet are however close you want them to your butt. Hip width apart still, making sure the knees aren't dropping in or out. We do want to kind of keep them the same hip width apart. Hands are coming just above my shoulders. Hair's out of the way. Fingers are facing my shoulders. I'm going to take a deep breath. And then I'm going to push all the way up. Looking at the ground. When I'm ready to come down, I'm going to tuck my head so I'm looking at the ceiling and lowering myself down with control. Good. We're going to go for a couple more tries here. Getting everything set up nice and clean. Take a deep breath and push up and exhale. Trying to get nice straight arms. When you're ready to come down, you're going to look at the ceiling again and lower yourself down. Good. Okay. Take a little second break here. Rotate those wrists out. We warmed them up at the beginning, but it does a number on them. All right, we got one more good one. I'm gonna see the difference with my band. Give myself a little check to see where my knees actually lie. The test. Okay, setting up. Deep breath. Push up and exhale. Tucking the head when you're ready. Lowering down. Woo. When you're ready, come up to a pike. We're gonna just sit with our legs out in front of us. Let this chill. And do a little bit of a cool down. From here, I'm gonna do like a spine segmentation. So from here, I'm gonna like let my head drop, start rounding forward, round my shoulders, start leaning forward. Not really doing like a pike stretch for my back of my legs or anything like we do in splits here. I'm actually wanting to round. And just letting all of my back stretch back out the other way. Breathing in and out through your nose. Just telling your body the hard work part is over. You did good today. So I'm going to start straightening up. I'm going to start stacking my lower body, my upper body. I'm going to come all the way to straight and put my hands behind me. Yep, nice behind me. And then I'm going to arch my back a little bit and just look up at the ceiling. Not too intense. We already did our stretch. I'm going to let my head drop back down. And I'm going to start going forward. Let everything curl back forward. And I'm just going to chill here in my super rounded position. Can kind of sway side to side nice and slow. You're breathing in and out through your nose. Just letting all the tension go. Just letting that upper body be nice and heavy. Good. I'm going to stack back up to a seated position. Coming out of there, we're going to transition to a 90-90. So we're going to have our toes out in front nice and wide. We're going to drop our knees to one side. So I'm making like half a little swastika. Yep, that's how I picture it. And transition, keeping those heels on the ground. Yeah, push it to the other side. It's just a super light, take it back and forth, nice and slow. Just rotating into those hips, but also just starting to twist the back out. One more here. Good, now from here I'm going to drop my elbow. So I've got knee, hip, shoulders all in one line, yeah. And then I'm going to open and close the arm. I'm going to rotate so you can have a better view. Yeah, so here, open and close the arm and go all, reaching all the way underneath. Getting a nice little twist in here. Take it a few times, like let's do 3 here. And on our third one, we're gonna really push the hand in underneath our body and that as we're threading that hole. And even if your hand comes to the ground, we're really just gonna kind of hold this twist position just for a second. Taking a couple breaths. Wringing our spine out if you were. Good, letting that one go. Gonna transition to the opposite elbow. Yeah, so this leg's just kind of the way bent. Rolling a line here. Yeah, good. So I'm gonna take nice, 3 nice slow twists here. And on the last one, again, we're gonna hold it underneath. Good, last one. Threading that needle, pushing the hand down as far as we can get it through. And just taking a couple breaths here. And releasing that one. Letting that go. Good. Come meet me in a seated position. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoyed the backbend class today. Appreciate the dedication. All right. I'll see you next week.